Okay.
Can you remember
now
a bit though?
Yes. Yes. And I can see that it would be, you know, someone was telling me they were jealous of me being able to watch the Clone Wars for the first time because it's, you know, so good. And you only get to watch things for the first time once. And so if you never got to watch The Force Awakens with fresh eyes, I can see that you're, you know, it's a different experience for The Mandalorian.
It's the fresh eyes and not knowing what's happening, plus the being part of the global experience. Being, on that side of it is quite good. I enjoy that side. Yeah, and sharing the sort of excitement of, looking for. I love the fact it's episodic. The Mandalorian, it hasn't just dumped 8 episodes to binge. Right. You've got to, wait for a week. I love that. I think it's healthy.
Yeah.
And it takes the original Saturday morning matinee stuff that probably George Lucas was, basically all the sort of, I can't remember what's good, the Flash Gordon and things like that. Buck Rogers, there were all those sort of episodic serials which you had to wait a week for, So I think it's great.
So you watching The Mandalorian with your kid, and what was it like to see your character design pop up on screen this week?
I knew something. Well, yes, I am watching it with my daughter, so I had to wait because I had to wait all day for her to come back from school. And I had read somewhere, I think someone had sent me a message on Instagram saying, "Oh, something." It might have even mentioned that particular character. There was some hint that something would be in there. Oh, shall I have a look? Shall I just have I had to hold. Otherwise, I'd just be scrolling through it and ruining it. So
right.
I was patient, and we waited for her to come home, and then we watched it in the evening. And he was on quite quickly, so it was good. Yeah, it's always quite exciting. Yeah. So I've got no idea if anything else will come up. I saw there was like last week in the fight in the wrestling match. There was a handful of old ones. It was like, it's that one. And
just a quick pan of the crowd. There were some of your designs in there.
A bit more front and center, holding Baby Yoda. My daughter and wife love Baby Yoda.
Yeah. And this was, him. What was it? Scrapjaw Motito is the name of the character.
I don't know if it is. I mean, I might have opened a can of worms there. I don't think it is, but I don't know, because it's a big. He got blasted up. Like, did he survive? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, but everyone's analysing it and saying it is.
All that we know is that it's probably the same helmet, right? The same costume from somebody's storage closet.
Yes. So I think somebody I read speculated that maybe that was whatever Scrapjaw Motito was wearing in The Force Awakens on Jakku, perhaps he was wearing scavenged armor himself, like Cobb Vanth was wearing scavenged Mandalorian armor. It all seems to get passed around, so you can't say whether it may be the same armor, the same face mask, but whether it's the same character, I don't know.
Yeah, I also saw speculation.
No, go on.
I saw speculation of being a Jawa or something similar, but that's not what your original intention was, right?
No, I mean originally he came about because we were doing The Force Awakens, and The Force Awakens had to. JJ wanted to sort of get that sort of New Hope vibe, and it was set in a desert, and we drew upon, we were influenced by all sorts of things in New Hope, i.e. Jawas and Tusken Raiders, and elements of those. It's heavily influeed by a Jawa. He's got a big brown hood, but he was on Jakku, and I'd never imagined that Jawas travelled galactically. Maybe they do. It would seem they do, but I didn't know they did. So in my head, he wasn't a Jawa. He was just another little, smaller alien creature. And he wasn't even in the film. I think I said this in an older post on my Instagram, that originally that character, he had a little line. He's meant to hassle Ray at the scrap dealers, giving her grief. I don't know why he's giving her grief. He is. And he was called Junk Minion was his nickname. And he might have worked for who was the boss guy?
Oh, right, the one that Simon Pegg played.
Yeah,
I don't remember the character's name. Yeah.
I think he was a minion of him. He was like he was like a deputy or something.
Got it.
And he originally was actually designed to look like something else. And at the very last minute, JJ decided that this other design, which we'd made and had, which was both of these were performed by Kieran Sharp, who's in loads. He's a small performer, and he decided that he didn't want to use that character design for Junk Minion. JJ wanted to actually use that one for the band in Maz's castle.
Ah, okay.
So he said, give me something else. We didn't about a week left before we had to pack everything up into these crates to go to Abu Dhabi. So his design was born out of like, okay, we've got to design it really quickly. It had to be made really quickly. The first design, which had now become the musician, was a prosthetic, and it was beautifully sculpted, and it had to be sort of fit his face perfectly. It was quite a long-winded process to make a very nice prosthetic or a mask. This thing had to be like, bang, make it fit. It doesn't have to, loosely fit. So I had to kind of come up with something that was quite rough and ready and simple to make. So it was like, what's simple? And I was just thinking, he works in a junkyard, and it was influenced off a pair of pliers or a vice. There's a lot of the texture of vice in his jaws. It just seemed to go with the environment. And I did say as well, I think a little bit of Clytus from Flash Gordon, the film Flash Gordon.
Okay.
He was like that kind of robot bad guy. A little bit of him as well. Anyway, and then this whole thing was it was attached so that it just had a band going around the performer's jaw, so he could like just move his jaw and the mouth would just open and close, open and close. That was it. It was a very simple mechanism, very simple design, no animatronics, and we made it very quickly. And I loved that design. It was always one of my favourite designs because it was born out of necessity and speed, and it was a product of having to be simple. I think it works for it really. There's no room to mess around. So I've always been fond of that design, and it was good to see it back.
And it seems like maybe they lost the jaw strap or something like that because the mouth didn't move in this iteration.
Oh, I know, that did bother me a bit. But hey, who knows what they were, whether it got broken or whether they decided maybe they just wanted it not to move his mouth. I mean, it was a different performer. Somebody did send me a link to who the performer was. So maybe again we made it to fit Kieran. It may be that as much as it fitted Kieran, it didn't necessarily fit the other performer as well, and they had to forego the mouth movement. There are many factors. I'm sure they'd have loved to have had the mouth moving, but I don't know. Right. It's not important.
And I guess I'd have to get a linguist to analyze whether or not it was the same language or not. That's not something I would notice.
Well, I think in the analysis, there's people saying, "Oh, he said Utini. He said something in Jawa." It's like maybe. But then again, maybe he did. Maybe he's hanging out with Jawas. Like, I can speak French. I'm not French.